When you're dealing with music, there's this look on young kids' faces that get when they hit that sound that they really wanted to produce, or when you know they're connecting with an audience.
What we're seeing with young people is that music is one of few places where their soul is really being nurtured. It's not being nurtured by the quickness of their phones or by the amount of texting that they can do on a given day, but it's really being nurtured by exposure to music. And I think that that's one of the most valuable things that we can be providing.
When I became active in the ASTA, I was asked to chair the national solo competition. And this was 20 years ago. And the first phone call I got was from Charles saying, you know, what I'd like to do is sponsor a prize in this competition. And it was out of the blue for me. I was just a new administrator at that point. And I realized that these people in this company want to support the string world. And they're very active outside of simply making a great business going. They are very active in donating services, instruments across the gamut of the entire string world.
My friend said, all right, I'm going to take a leap of faith here and we're going to start an orchestra and I've got to start figuring out how to do it. Well, about 2 weeks ago, he and maybe a half a dozen other string teachers packed up and off they went to this community in Kenya. And there's this one teacher now who's in this little community who's got 50 violins, and he's going to have this little orchestra and they're going to play away. And it's an orphanage actually that he's working in, and Shar has had a hand in seeing that that happens.
When someone comes to us and says, you know, here's the project we're doing. We're going to Kenya and we have this music school, and you see the images and you hear the stories and you're just, how can you not support that? You know, it's part of the supporting the string community. Nothing's more core and primal than the desire to help those people, because you just see the effort they're putting into it. And there was one in Afghanistan. It was a girls' school in Afghanistan. I mean, how can you not support that?
The reality is that there is no other company in our field, in the classical music field, that has demonstrated and taken the level of steps, both in terms of the intent and the advocacy for diversifying the field, as well as the actual steps in terms of generosity and resources to the field that Shar and that Haig have.
It's certainly part of the core philosophy of the company is to help.
You know, we have students literally coming from coast to coast who then, through their participation in Sphinx, are able to gain the resources that Shar brings to bear through our partnership and evolve as musicians. So that impact that Haig and that Shar are having through their vision is literally affecting young people from Los Angeles to New York to Miami and all points in between.
You know, we want to be able to not just sell those schools but help support them. We can start to represent the school districts. We can, you know, work with publishers. We can work with all kinds of others. We have lots of resources.